Do you have any idea what their defense is going to be, given the fact that the judge is basically taking away their defense?
Am I the only person in the world talking about attacking the timeline, hacking the timeline, hacking the timeline, hacking the timeline?
Do you have any idea what their defense is going to be, given the fact that the judge is basically taking away their defense?
Taking away their defense.
Like, am I in crazy? 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 Like, am I in crazy?
Challenge the timeline of the murders.
I mean, am I in crazy land?
Like, that's fucking crazy world.
What's the strategy today? Winning.
Whose motherfucking hair is that?
What's the strategy today? Winning.
The consensus has been challenge the timeline of the murders. Challenge the timeline of the murders.
Do you have any idea what their defense is going to be, given the fact that the judge is basically taking away their defense?
Am I the only person in the world talking about attacking the timeline, hacking the timeline, hacking the timeline, hacking the timeline?
Do you have any idea what their defense is going to be, given the fact that the judge is basically taking away their defense?
Taking away their defense.
Like, am I in crazy? 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 Like, am I in crazy?
Challenge the timeline of the murders.
Talking about attacking the timeline.
What's the strategy today? Winning.
Whose motherfucking hair is that?
What's the strategy today? Winning.
The consensus has been challenge the timeline of the murders. Challenge the timeline of the murders.
I can't wait to talk more about the Delphi double murders. Happy to announce the next venture. Please purchase DB coin link in the description. I'm happy to announce the next venture. Please purchase DB coin link in the description. Of the Alaskan bullworm. Have you seen one?
Hey, is this thing on, dude? What's Angie Netanyahu? Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you so much for coming to the launch. Is Steve? You're all drugs. I'm not a drug. I swear this is a damn April Fool's joke. Well, it's the 2nd of April. I'll have you know. Angie Netanyahu's here. Try to get some comments from her. Kind of seeing what she thinks about everything that's going on. If you haven't seen the DB coin, check it out. What are you gonna buy DB coin?
Uh-huh.
I'm in the mainframe, dude. Anyway, so there was an appeal reply that was filed in the Delphi double burners case. It is an interesting filing, I must say. I think it can be completely summed up by saying, I call that an motion. I call that a I know you are, but what am I? Reply brief. It's pretty interesting. Hey, we have a lot of people here. Holy shit. You leave my mouse volume away alone. My mouse click is adequate. How else would I know I clicked it if I can't hear it? Am I in the right place? I don't know. Are you? Is this what you need? Is this what you wanted? Is this Delphi Defense Diaries pod tech wizardry? Wizardry? Where the fuck is Ange DB? I already showed you her. That was proof of life. So, what's it gonna be?
Can't wait to talk more about the Delphi double murders.
It's uncanny. It is uncanny. Could you turn your juice tumbler up? It's not annoying enough yet. I don't know what that means. What could that mean, possibly?
Okay, bitch.
We got all the classics. Is Osbrook on some stream? Excuse me?
We love y'all.
What do you think about that?
We love y'all.
Hit you with that dry kiss, dude. That swatch.
Are you fucking insane, dude?
Yeah, I ran out of tokens. Damn it. That's all I got. That was expensive. Hey, so where's Nancy Guthrie? You know what I mean? What do you guys think? Is she out there? How's she doing? Everyone pay close attention to the things that are going on in Nogales, Mexico. Stop twirling your mic cord. No. How does my sound? Do I sound annoying? How do you hear my clicker? Do you hear my scroll? Can you hear the scroll? Are we back? I don't know. Okay, great. I sound fine. That's excellent. Let's see. What else could we talk about?
Excited to talk about the newest filing by the state of Indiana, which is the reply to the appeal brief.
So what are we going to talk about tonight?
I'm so excited to talk about the newest filing by the state of Indiana, which is the reply to the appeal brief.
Okay. Good to know. Yeah, let's talk about Letitia Stout. What is this? Excuse me? Do we need to go over the meme coin again? Technically, the answer brief. Yeah, Ange. Thank you, Michael Osberg, for correcting Ange, as she should be. Hey, yo.
Hey, yo, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Are we live? Did you already start?
Yeah, we already started. I just threw you up.
No.
What's up?
Hey. How do
It's a reunion.
Where's Angela?
She's right here.
Excited to talk about the newest filing by the state of Indiana, which is the reply to the appeal brief.
Michael already corrected her.
Oh, no.
What's the weather like in Alaska these days?
That's not a question for me.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to read the top comments. LMAO. Excellent. YJ. Very good. Yes. Weird.
Excited to talk about the newest filing by the
What's up, dude?
It's our girl. It's our girl. What's up?
Oh, I'm in. Hi.
Yeah, I just threw you up.
Can you hear me? Good thing I was like, ready. What's up, everybody? I'm actually not ready, so hold on.
Guys, this is going exactly according to plan. If you haven't guessed, everybody give me in all caps flamingo BIPOC coded excitement in the chat, please. That we just saw. We took a glance.
I don't know what to do with my hands. What do I do with I don't know what to do anymore. We haven't done this in so long.
I've never said that in my life.
God,
I always
because you slut yourself out on everybody else's channel all the time.
That's not true.
Everywhere I go. Oh, there's DB again.
I'm nowhere.
You're everywhere.
I am not in any live chats.
You
ever.
are
I'm not terminally online.
You are the biggest slut in true crime. I just want to throw that out there.
bitch.
That is unheard of, unnecessary. You want to talk about? Never mind. I'm actually not going to go down that road.
So, what cases have we been following? I mean, while we're waiting for #free Ricky, what cases have we been following?
Oh, I mean,
a lot.
Speaking of just you and I.
How about you? Tell me about you, DB.
I'll tell you about me.
I can't keep up with you.
No one can, but here I go. I've been following this little case called Zachary Adams versus Tennessee. Tennessee versus Zachary Adams, one of the greatest justices of all time.
Me too.
Yeah. I know, but I was talking about me. I know you have like a fleeting interest in the case or whatever, but
oh, okay. Yeah, this is DB time.
What do you think about the case? What do you think about Jennifer Nichols?
I hate her. Hate her guts.
So this is what our group chat has turned into. Actually, is just Yellow and I talking shit about Jennifer Nichols and waiting for Ange to like reply.
I found an old chat where Angela tried to pipe in about it, and her mom and dad were talking and to be quiet.
That sounds about right. Jennifer Nichols absolutely sucks.
She really sucks.
Todd Mullins. People are talking about Todd Mullins. Kelsey Fitzsimmons. Y'all see the 3 attorneys disbarred in FLA. No. What'd they do? Is up to no good? I started watching attorney disbarment hearings in the state of Florida. There's a channel that does all these appeal briefs and everything, and oral arguments. I thought these were going to be like the coolest thing ever, but it's literally just fucking people that are like, give me money for this case and then don't pay that. Like, don't do anything on the case. It's really not that interesting. And it's not like a murder case or a robbery case. It's like somebody paid $15,000 for the attorney to file like, a bunch of, stalking injunctions against their ex or some shit. And they just never did it.
It's pretty gay.
That's what I'm saying. It could be. Disbarred. Was it the lawyer guy? A legend. FLA bar coming after Bondi. Dude, Bondi's going down. What do you guys think about Pam Bondi, huh?
I think a while back I was like, well, that's pretty cool. All these women are being put in these really big positions of, power in the government. I mean, that's cool. And then I don't know, probably about 3 or 4 months ago, I was like, oh, okay. They're going to be the fall guys for everything that goes wrong. And literally nobody's going to care.
Yeah, that or Chrissy Nome sucks.
They're also horrible people. So I don't care
you're
anymore.
Right, though. Bondi gone girl.
Mostly horrible women.
Yeah. Gabby is next. Too soon. So I've also been seeing a lot of JLR coverage. I guess I shouldn't go there.
I didn't know anybody knew who he was. I'm surprised at how many people know who he. I knew him as the guy who screamed at Richard Allen. Richard Allen, why'd you do it? That's all I know him as. Oh, she put on a hoodie.
Why'd you do it?
I was thinking you didn't have enough clothes on. Thank God.
No, I had to go do a thing, and then it's like everything's melting, and there's just it's a whole thing. We can get into it later. Hey.
Hi.
What are we talking about?
Doing? Nothing. Oh, just waiting for you to tell us about life.
DB, you know how I feel about your AI projects. Hold on, I need to find my. Oh my God. I'm here in spirit.
Wow. Oh, it's so Pam Bondi, right?
Did y'all know Angela lives in Alaska now?
Whoa.
Doxing.
Literally Alaska.
Alaska is really easy to identify people where they are in Alaska. It's not very remote. You can't even ping somebody up there.
I love it for her. I love people who just like, I just want to shake my life up, and they do it so hard. They're not just like, I'm just gonna do something different. I'm gonna cut bangs, or I'm gonna do this. Like they just go they're just like, I'm gonna move to Alaska. Who does that?
The same person that says, I'm gonna look in this little Delphi case, you know what I mean? It'll be a little weekend project. Check it out, see what's going on in Delphi.
I just love people who do everything as hard as possible.
Oh wow. I mean,
if you're gonna do things, just do them all the way.
Yeah. Like drugs. If you're gonna do drugs, do crack.
Absolutely.
No doubt.
So talking about crack.
Speaking of doing crack, what about this appeal brief, huh? Who's got the appeal?
I have a lot of thoughts, man.
I haven't read it yet.
Can y'all believe that? She just said that. Can y'all believe it?
I haven't read it yet. I've read a lot of it. I've seen everybody's coverage of it. I've not actually read it myself though. Hold on.
Do you have a straw in your?
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Just checking.
Oh, already. Good.
No,
good.
No, it's all good. My bad. You're right. You're right. I should chill. Okay. Appeal brief.
No. Don't chill.
Can somebody?
Hi, Tor. Oh my God, I haven't even been looking at the
somebody
chat. I forgot how to.
Let me pull it up.
You forgot how to do everything.
Oh my.
Well, I haven't Oh my gosh, this is cool. Did they change something? So now the chat is on the screen.
Yeah, they changed all kinds of shit except for fucking anything worthwhile.
Except you still probably can't show a picture, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So, so about Ricky's appeal, it's my preference. I mean, we're not going to do a read through. It's been out for what, a week and a half. A lot of people have done the read throughs. Bob and Allie and Defense Diaries and Andrea Burkhart did the coolest thing the other night. If you want to walk through the high level points and figure out what each side is arguing, his stream, the debate style thing he did. Bob is such a good moderator too, by the way. I don't usually walk away from one of his shows thinking Bob was the star, but he kind of was. He was the best moderator. Anyways.
Tough crowd.
Yeah. Angela, sit down. Sit.
I didn't realize I was.
There's nothing to do.
I didn't realize I was. Well, okay. I didn't realize I was muted. So I was.
What are you doing? Have you eaten? Do you need snacks? Sit down.
I've eaten. We're good. I did eat. I ate. I had all my snacks. Everything's good. I haven't. I have not eaten. I have not eaten. I had a handful of trail mix earlier, and then I poured a glass of wine. So strap in. Yay! We're in for a treat.
That's what we're doing.
What time is it in Alaska? No, it's 4:26 here, I think. If I'm not mistaken. Oh, okay. So what's the agenda for this evening? First, I'd like to say hello,
some things.
Well, I don't want to make it a thing, but I'm happy to be here. I've been watching Shaboobies and Keith and Bob, Uncle Bob, as always. Who else have we been watching? Andrea. Laura. Is Laura in here? Laura has a channel now. Everyone should.
I haven't really been watching much, really.
Right. And who else? Who am I forgetting? Well, anyway, I've been following.
We've Alana, Brother Council is a new one for me. He's great.
Yeah, he's brand new to me too. He's cool. I think was he from the Karen Reed?
Yeah, he fucking rules, dude.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I'd never heard of him till he covered Delphi, and so then of course he was on my radar. But I need to branch out more,
Don't we all?
We've always said that about you. You look beautiful. I'm really happy to see both of your faces. Yellow's shining, beautiful face, and DB's, of course, handsome as ever.
Here I am.
I'm happy to see you.
Happy to be
so
seen.
Handsome.
I'm happy for other people to see you.
Yeah, people really, really need you to come back. And
are you talking to me?
Yeah.
So remember when I said, so my internet's not great. I'm just going to be honest. So I'm a little bit laggy. What's right? Exactly. So I'm a little lagged. So if I am more of a listener than a participator tonight, it's not personal. It just means that I probably have not caught up yet to whatever you're talking about. But I think if I stop touching things, it should be fine. So
yeah, don't touch stuff. DB, do you have any final thoughts? I have some. Well, I did make an outline. I made a nice little outline of things to talk about because that's
go ahead.
That's how I have to wrap my mind. So like I said, we decided we did not want to just kind of do the read through and talk about it, even though Angela hasn't been arsed to even read it yet, but that's fine.
Okay. Well, true.
She knows.
I'm an active listener.
Did you read Richard Allen's brief at least? Did you read that?
Oh my gosh. Yes.
That was
I
the
did read
important
that.
one.
I just am yeah. I just am kind of like protect my peace. If there's anything or anyone in the world that's going to spike my blood pressure, it's going to be Dickolas McClicolas. And I just well, yeah, and you. And so I didn't read the states yet, but I wanted you to read it.
He didn't do this.
No, but I associate everything with him and
Sure.
Stacy and Latrell. So it's like, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So I had just a few high level things I wanted to go through. In case you aren't already following me on Twitter, the only thing I really care about, because I personally think it's the most important, I think it's the best chance to free Ricky, is the Brad Weber Van Neppy claim, right? So that's my big deal.
How do you say it?
I like Napu. It feels more
Napu.
Texan. It feels more Texan and natural to say it that way. It's definitely not
Napu.
proper. It's not. The
I
way
like to
you're
say
supposed
Napa.
Andrea
like
and Michael have both explicitly said about 1 billion times it's Nepui, which doesn't feel right to me at
That's
all.
ridiculous. There's
It's
no
ridiculous.
way it's Napui. There is not a chance it's Napui.
It's nap you, some bitch.
Nap you.
Anyways, so Michael actually introduced us to that. I'd never heard of it before. In the motion to correct error. It's a really big deal. It's a really big case. It sits right up there alongside Brady and Franks and all the other, big precedent cases we are super familiar with. I personally spend a lot of time just trying to feel out the Court of Appeals. I read their opinions. I spend a lot of time on Justia, just plugging in keywords like Court of Appeals, Indiana, Napui, Glossop, looking for cases that they have specifically focused on, regarding the same things that we're seeing in Rick Allen's case. There's some interesting stuff out there. So all I really wanted to do tonight, there was a couple of parts in the state's reply brief, and even one specifically in the defendant's brief that were interesting to me, as far as the citations and the cases they chose to throw out there. And that's really all I have to contribute to any of this conversation tonight.
That's all she says. That sounds like important stuff.
Okay, so go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, okay.
There was no thought here. It was just a well, and then there was nothing.
Okay, so everybody in the chat, what do you think out of everything in the appeal so far, in the direct appeal, has the highest probability in your mind that you're thinking about, that you're imagining, could potentially have an occasion to win Richard Allen a new trial? Do you think it's Napupu? Do you think it's Glossop? Do you think it's
this is a great question.
Brad? Well, I'll ask it. Do you think it's the Brad Weber shenanigans? Do you think it's
the confessions?
Dick McCletus's mustache?
The voluntariness of the confession. Yeah, the mustache.
I pause.
Mm-hmm. The I will say, high level, one thing I've learned in reading, when looking specifically for cases that have been where the convictions have been reversed, either on appeal or when it went to the Supreme Court, 9 times out of 10, it's not the argument that you think it's going to be, is all I've learned. So even though I am so dead set on the Napui claim, it could be something as stupid as the Google search when Cecil did a Google. It could be something as dumb as that.
Ooh, that's a good point. Okay, so the thing I think about with the Google search, it's one of the things that's really hard to defend and make sense of. So could it go all the way to be something that's overturned just because of how egregiously bad it is and how the I guess we don't know how much Nick knew about what he was going to say, or if there was, if he knew that he actually searched that shit. So it's hard to say that it's like, he knowingly helped Cecil put on knowingly false information there. But like, I don't know, it does seem like it could be a potential issue. Bob says they won't even get to the merits. What does that mean, Bob? I've heard Bob talk about the appeal, but he was just asking questions. I heard zero legal analysis from Bob. I do believe his channel is called Defense Diaries, not Moderator Diaries. So I do wonder what Bob
really good in the debate. He was very good.
He was really, who ends up taking the moderator role?
Who does?
Those who can't debate. You know what I mean? I am the best debater in the world. I can totally destroy you.
I actually watched him do a debate one time with, what's his name? The vampire guy. No, God, no.
The vampire guy.
Brett, the prosecutor's guy. The prosecutor's guy.
He's a vampire. I didn't know that, actually. That's probably the least cringe thing about that guy then.
He writes horror novels, DB. You didn't know that?
Well, I thought that was his Twitter.
There was one year he posted a picture of himself dressed up as a vampire, and I've been begging people to find that picture for me and send it to me because I can't find it again. Hilarious. Anyways, he did debate him one time, and Brett was so upset by it that he's not even friends with him anymore.
Are you serious?
He got spanked so hard that he didn't even, he took his toys and went home. That's what I heard.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Might be a rumor. Check it out, though.
Okay, I'll look into it.
Check it out, bro.
I've also Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh, again, there was nothing in between these ears. It was just, no, you go ahead.
Well, I was just thinking, with all that, being said, I think that my favorite issue, I believe, the things that I think is going to get turned over.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be something that has to do with invalidating the confessions. Because this has been my theory, is that everything else, if you just have these bullshit 60 confessions that didn't solve the crime they're still going to say that it's harmless error, or that it's just not enough.
That's what the AG has pretty much claimed throughout every single argument. They say a bunch of bullshit and then they finish it off with, anyways, none of this matters. It was just harmless error because there was so much other evidence in this case. How do you say that with a straight face? There was zero evidence in this case.
Zero.
Where
So
did
yeah,
Angela go?
I don't fucking know, dude. Alaska.
Yeah. This is
she's
our
up there on
now.
Starlink rubbing two freaking
she's
two things together.
Yeah, she's just dry humping a moose in her front yard or something right now.
Yeah, she's a big Elon head these days, dude. Dude, Angela went to Alaska and she became a Republican, guys.
Okay, so that's where I draw the line, Divas. The AI is the AI was pushing it.
She's in a new room.
We had to hardwire plug in. We're good though. I had to plug into it doesn't matter. We're good. I would love it. Bob mentioned Starlink. I didn't even know what that was until I came here. Apparently it's great. It's important. But we
Angela,
hate the
do you want to get mad right off the beat, like as soon as we start, or do you want some foreplay to work up to it?
Let's just jump in.
Okay. So where I thought Angela, since she guys, she literally has not read it. She's watched the coverage of it. She has not read it. She hasn't seen the stupid words on paper for herself yet. So I suggested that what did I put in my outline? I said, Ange, what claims and replies would you like to focus on? I suggest Angela starts on page 21 and then combusts live on YouTube.
Yay.
That was mine. So if one of y'all wants to pull it, let's just get her mad. Let's just get her fiery right off the bat. Let's just do that. Let's just do that, and then we'll get into the other stuff. So if either one of y'all wizards can pull up the state's reply brief and go to page 21.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Okay. I think this
sounds
is
like
it.
a DB job.
DB job. Yep.
This part was so bad that the other night on Bob's debate live, when Michael was supposed to be wearing the hat for the state, he was doing it diligently and doing a good job of playing the part. He couldn't even do it when he got to this part. He pretended like he was at oral when he pretended like he was like at oral arguments or something, and he was like, "The state doesn't defend this. This is shameful."
I love it. I love it. Michael doing a hypothetical or a make believe made me really happy.
Yeah.
So
you watched that?
I did. I caught up on some of it. Why?
Did y'all know Michael used to work for the AG?
Yeah.
DB,
He was
did you know that?
84-0. I asked him. I said I counted the number of times he was listed in as a deputy attorney general, and it was like 84. And I said, "Do you ever think about any of those cases that maybe got away from you a little bit?" And he said, "No, I never lost." I was like, "Okay, well, one, that's impressive, but also shooting fish in a barrel. I think when you're at state, but I think, he probably had some really good gems in there."
I think there's probably something to be said for a lawyer who starts out in that path and then goes
really
Angela making going so hard as to be like, I'm gonna shake up my life, I'm moving to Alaska. That's kind of what Michael did with this isn't really what I wanted to do. I'm going to be a habeas lawyer instead.
Right. Equally important decisions, obviously.
Yeah.
But we love that for Michael. We prefer him on the habeas side than the government.
Who's pulling up the thing? I can't do it.
Oh, yeah. I'm pulling it up. Here it is.
Jerry Holmes is the son of a bitch. Jerry Holmes is the son of a bitch.
Oh, hit me up, dude.
I love that. I hate this one. That is my least favorite video that you have ever made.
Okay, you know what I think about your take on that?
That's fucking illegal.
I missed that one.
How many things did you make that you were just like, oh, I got to get them all in right now?
Well, I did make. I was about 90% through, about nine different ones, and then yeah. That's your oopsies.
This is mostly us just hanging out, so let's focus. DB, pull up the thing, will you?
I'm
young lad?
on it. I'm fucking looking at all this bullshit and can't find it. God, spend more time
I'm not-
organizing this always.
I told you I was
blame.
I'm just
What was
Very
Courtney saying
serious.
earlier about the women taking the fall for the shortcomings and mistakes of the men? DB, don't blame all eyes.
okay. Fine, I take it back. All eyes is
Thank you.
a friend of the show.
I'd say that's an understatement.
Why am I dark? Like
You're beautiful.
I have like 17 ring lights in here. And I can't like my face just, it like takes light and it's like, and it just reflects it all.
It looks beautiful. You look beautiful. Your face looks beautiful. Your bedroom looks beautiful. Your hair looks beautiful.
I got my hair done today. That's why we were late.
I love it.
Thanks.
I absolutely love it. DB, all eyes says just search brief of Appealy.
I have it in like 18 different places. Do you?
Sure. Yeah.
Never read it.
Oh my God. DB.
I'm looking for it.
DB.
So,
I got links.
Richard,
I got folders.
well,
I got.
Yeah, click the link that she sent.
She sent me a link. Oh, that's nice.
Hey, so Ricky is in Oklahoma, correct?
Yeah.
Still?
I don't know. Allegedly.
Lots of folks are wondering where Ricky is and how he's doing. I don't think we know how he's doing. I suspect he's doing.
I bet he's doing terrible.
I heard he found God. The state
Yeah.
told me that. That's a really kind thing.
He found God and Jesus.
Salam alaikum.
Yep. That's what
DB, I just sent another link to the folder I made of.
He's being defiant.
The important thing. He is being defiant. I'm gonna spank his butt.
Defiant. Yeah, you should. He's
Excited to
definitely doing
talk
it on purpose. No,
I'll
don't
do it.
DB.
I'll fucking do it, dude.
Ooh.
Appeal's brief. It's pronounced a couple different ways. Travis.
Please. Please.
Please is right.
Angela fought a moose with her bare hands last week. I just want to say that.
That's a fucking lie, dude.
I did
completely true.
He also found the Holy Spirit. Yep. He found all three. And plus he also found is Odin the god? Odin's a god.
Odin.
Right? Odin. Not to be disrespectful, but it's kind of a dorky name. So I'm about to just risk my internet and do it instead because DB is clearly out of practice. So I think what
go. Fucking chill, dude.
There you go. There we go. So you just have to abuse him, and then he.
Go ahead, start reading.
So I can't see that.
Ooh.
Appellees.
What
is this?
Yellow, can you kick it off?
What the fuck is this?
No, not this way. You're doing this on purpose.
Oh my god, he's literally doing it on. He's literally doing it on purpose.
Sorry, I was doing research on Jebry Cash Davis Martin's fucking.
This is a serious
murder trial.
This is a serious channel.
No, I know. That's why I'm here because that's me.
I'm very serious.
She's very serious. Yeah, this is probably a nightmare of a stream.
Bob, she can't sing live. It's all auto-tuned. She can't sing at all.
It's like saying, tell us a joke.
Yeah, we need to, on the next version of this, Courtney, we need to definitely fix this little man's attitude and also his speed and efficacy. What you been doing, DB? So we leave you alone for like 4 months.
I literally worked on the. I worked on this for.
You slut yourself out on every other channel, except you apparently haven't been doing anything worthwhile because you have forgotten everything that we taught you.
So I know you're in the folder I sent because you pulled up the Davis Martin one. I know you're in the right folder. So what you're going to want to do is there's 5 documents there, DB. There's only 5.
Wait, which one is it? State's brief of
the one that starts with state's brief. That's the
okay,
one.
Well, there's one that starts with 2026 4-25 state's brief. Is that it?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay. I think I found it.
This is a great point.
When we get to so I want you to pull that up.
Hey, put more shit on the screen, why don't you?
More things. Go to page 21.
Okay.
Go to page 21. And I want, because I think you will bring out more anger in her, I want you to read it to Angela.
A single man cell in the restricted housing unit TRXV9596, 105.
You don't have to read the numbers. You can skip the numbers. Yeah.
End parentheses. The 12x8 cell had a bed, a toilet, a sink, a slot in the door through which his meals were served, and a narrow window for daylight. After Alan complained that his scratches in the window made it hard to see out, DOC replaced the window. Alan was given showers, 3 per week, out of cell recreation time, 5 times per week, 3 sets of clothing, and weekly laundry service, books and puzzles, and an electronic tablet that he could use to communicate with family, listen to music, download movies, and play games. When his first tablet broke, Alan did not have to pay the usual fee for a replacement tablet. Alan was offered a television for his cell, but he declined it. Alan could dim the cell's overhead lights. Alan was granted in-person visits with his wife, which is generally not permitted for restricted housing convicts. Alan had access to weekly chaplain visits upon request and received regular checks by medical staff. Although shackled while being transported outside of his cell, Alan's shackles were removed during his sessions with Dr. Wallah and his meetings with his wife and attorneys.
Games. He had games. He had games on his tablet.
Hey, you got any games on your phone?
You can keep
You got
going.
any games on your phone?
You can keep.
Yeah, keep going, Davis.
He was treated better.
Although placed in the same kind of physical environment as convicted offenders in that unit, Alan was treated better. And the primary goal was to keep him safe from himself and the general population. The administrative and medical team met to discuss how to make Alan more comfortable.
They met to discuss how to make him more comfortable. Angela.
Yeah.
DOC policy restricted periods of solitary confinement to persons with serious mental illness, SMI, to 30 days. But Alan's initial diagnosis of major depressive disorder and anxiety did not meet the definition of an SMI.
That's rich.
Because
DB.
What? Go down,
Just,
go up.
Yeah, just probably this page, the rest of this page, and then I think you're good.
Because he entered WCF on constant suicide watch with prior mental health diagnosis, the cell Alan was placed in was the suicide cell, 24-hour video monitoring.
Quotes.
Pause.
Yes.
So he didn't have his pre-existing mental health diagnoses were not by the state standards considered SMI, serious mental illness, but because he entered Westville on constant suicide watch with prior mental health diagnoses.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Keep going.
Alan was offered the opportunity to meet with Dr. Wallah out of his cell at least once a week. What a fucking charming event. During a session in early November, Dr. Wallah advised Alan not to talk about his case with anyone, and she did not ask him questions about it during their sessions.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
Angela,
Okay.
she didn't.
Is that in
You know what?
writing?
I skipped an important line. I'm sorry.
What
Alan
is-
met with Dr. Wallah daily, usually in a nearby room with a metal grate partition between them, and otherwise at his cell door.
So that's a bold-faced fucking lie. Dr. Walla asked Richard Allen. First of all, she somehow knew whenever he was scheduled to meet with his attorneys or have a hearing, she knew and she asked him about it beforehand. And then she made a point to meet with him every day of, if he met with his attorneys or had a hearing or anything significant in the case. Dr. Walla made it. I'm just gonna call her Monica. I'm gonna call her Mo, okay? Because I can't even.
Mo's perfect.
Mo made a point to meet with Rick every single time that he talked to his attorneys. She shouldn't have even known that he was having conversations or meetings with his attorneys. What does she have? What she's not a scheduler. Like, it's not relevant to her. She's not an investigator. She's a doc. She was his medical provider. So that's a lie, is my point. Not only is it a lie, again, it's a provable lie. It's a provable lie because her own fucking notes. This bitch is so stupid. Literally in her notes, she says, when she
You're
asked
stupid.
the fucking Rick about his meetings with his attorney. Oh, I gotta mute. Okay, keep going. She's a fucking
No.
liar.
I did this on purpose. I did a poke the bear. Keep going, DB.
By December 2022, Allen was removed from constant suicide watch and placed on close observation. He was observed every 15 minutes, and Allen met with Dr. Wallah once a week. Allen did well in first the months of 2023. Allen found Jesus and accepted God into his heart in late March 2023.
Jesus and God.
Both of them?
What about the Holy Spirit?
I don't know. He didn't mention the Holy Spirit.
What about Santa Claus? Increasingly concerned with religious matters. In late March and early April, Allen began receiving his legal discovery, and he had a visit with his attorneys on April 3rd or the 4th.
Which is
Hey,
it?
why don't you fucking know that?
Which is it? Because that's important. Those are really important. Hey, go back up just a bit because there was one sentence in there. No, not that far. Just like what you just, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Little bit more. Right there.
Okay.
So there's one little, like right where that page cuts off and starts the new page. That's a really, really, really important little phrase right there. And became increasingly concerned with religious matters. Angela, I don't want to talk about things that you know a lot more than me about. Tell me about people who suddenly, randomly, become increasingly concerned with religious matters.
Well, based on
in your field of work,
his pre-existing diagnoses and what we know, his health was deteriorating from the time he got to Westville, despite what the state is doing of fucking Candyland make believe here. But yeah, when your health and mental health is deteriorating, and you're under significant stress and you're predisposed to serious mental illness and possibly even schizophrenia or psychosis. We don't know because they didn't allow the attorneys to talk about Rick's family history of medical family history, even though it's fucking relevant. But regardless, he was really high risk to have basically like a psychotic break. And a lot of times with psychosis, you have like preoccupations with religion. If you're having like hallucinations, auditory hallucinations, sometimes like if you hear a voice, you're like, I'm gonna assume it's God. It's the whole thing. But yeah, so this man was having religious delusions at least in mid-March, and as far as we can tell, because once again, like fucking self-owned Monica literally puts in her notes that he was experiencing like sudden religiosity, like
and it should be noted that in his intake, part of the intake they do is they ask you tons of questions about your background, your history, your health. One of those things they ask you, what's your religious affiliation? Rick made a point to tell them, in the very beginning of November when this intake happened, that he wasn't religious at all. So Correct. He wasn't religious at all. And then, everybody knows, prison is a great place to find God. It's not, it's not always or necessarily a bad thing for a lot of people. It offers a lot of, positive outcome and a lot of hope. And it's a great place to find God. But for him, this was a preoccupation, increasingly concerned, and it was out of character for what, a 50-year-old man with, very, very firm religious, beliefs and foundations has started to do. So that was the most honest thing that AG has said here, is that he became increasingly concerned with religious matters.
He also flushed his Bible down the toilet. They don't put that in here, but he flushed his Bible down the toilet at the same time. Because with the religious preoccupation comes paranoia or persecutory delusions, or all of these things that go along with it that we know were also co-occurring at the same fucking time that he's talking about God and Jesus. but they don't leave it. They don't put any of that in here because, of course, why would they? Like, duh. Of course not.
All right, DB. Reader, like another maybe couple paragraphs.
This is important. I'm sorry, one more thing. All Eyes just said, because I forgot about this. All Eyes says they changed his religious status while they were in there documenting his psychotic symptoms. Did we remember that? Yeah, they changed him from like not religious or whatever to
Pentecostal.
Christian.
Well, there's a playbook with the mental health people in prisons. We've seen it in other cases that we've looked at. We know what the playbook is. So when somebody becomes a problem for them, when somebody is filing complaints, raising valid concerns, perhaps filing a lawsuit or threatening to file a lawsuit, like a civil suit, what like their playbook, their go-to is that a mental health professional at DOC goes and meets with them and makes a formal diagnosis as antisocial personality disorder.
Oh yeah, that's the go-to.
That's so fucking stupid, dude.
We've seen it time and time and time again. That's ridiculous. Their move. So they document things and they update statuses based on like this cover your ass mentality there. To be fair, I saw something similar released recently about the JLR guy, about how somebody found his like prison or jail notes.
Yeah, I did.
And yeah, you did. And somebody made a note.
It was me.
There was some note in there about how a corrections psychologist, said he's exhibiting antisocial personality traits, and he's crazy. But when I see that, I'm like, there's the bullshit flag. Basically, he was becoming a problem for them. And that's what they do when somebody becomes a problem.
Whoa.
Oh, God damn it.
Fuck off. No way.
Post-punk found that. Post-punk, if you're in the chat, thank you. Love you, Post-punky.
Hey,
I have been trying to find that for over a year.
I'm putting it in our chat.
It's amazing. DB, pull it up.
What a dork. Yeah, pull it up, Deeps.
Oh my.
Yeah, Chelsea makes a good point. Antisocial basically is what they label people when they don't like, oh, hi, Royal. When they don't like what they're saying or doing is what they do. It's like calling someone crazy because they're making good points, you know?
Yeah, that happens.
There's a whole video.
Well, when you make a diagnosis of somebody with that, it just creates an excuse for anything else that might have actually been concerning that was noted before. Oh, this person's a psycho. This person's a psychopath.
Yeah, correct.
All right, you know what, DB? Since you can't follow simple directions, just keep reading. Just keep reading a couple of pages.
Sorry, I was making a meme in the background that only I will really probably find funny, but this
certainly
distracted me. Okay.
Most certainly.
Okay, chill out. In early April 2023, corresponding with those events, Alan's mental health quickly deteriorated. Did I already read this? Nope, I didn't. Alan started to refuse meals and act out. On April 3rd, Alan told his wife, "I did it. I killed and blank." The next day, Dr. Wallah upgraded Alan back to a constant suicide watch.
Why?
Correctional officers were assigned to observe Alan, and Dr. Wallah met with him every day.
Courtney said, why? Answer her.
Well, I don't know.
Why? Why did she upgrade him to constant suicide watch the day after he told his wife, "I did it, I killed them"?
You know, it's really funny. The state is like, it was an upgrade. Motherfucker, he didn't check into a Best Western with some fucking extra points.
If he did this out of genuine, voluntary, needing to get right with God and just confess what he's done, then why wasn't this a weight off of his shoulders? Why did this warrant suicide watch?
Right. Why didn't he feel better?
They just say things here. They just say shit and don't even like realize how stupid it sounds. It's boring. This whole thing is boring, but it's also super stupid. Yep.
Super stupid.
Super stupid.
Yeah. Exactly. This is my biggest thing. If Rick is this is what if we just back up for a
Back
fucking
that
minute
thing
here,
up.
because like
Back it all the way up.
we've talked about this case for so long that like sometimes I think like how do I make us all bigger? What am I doing? Oh, here we go. So like we've talked about this case for so long that sometimes we like overanalyze, right? If we just look at this like normal
Yeah, you
people
do.
who aren't obsessed with this, shut up TV. If we just like look at this case like normal people who aren't like obsessed with it like we are, so you're telling me that this guy confessed 60 plus times,
Mortal
right?
Kombat.
Confined. He's confessing in there left and right, but he won't plead guilty.
Ron Logan confessed.
That is so fucking loud, DB.
That was. I have headphones and it almost blew my fucking ears off, DB.
Thank you.
Shrimp fried this right?
Hey,
okay. I'm just saying it's not congruent. That makes no sense.
Quick tangent of mine. Who did Rick confess? Who did Rick confess to? Prison guards, the warden at the prison psychologist, the prison companion inmates, his wife and mom while being monitored by a prison corrections officer or a prison psychologist. Are those the people he confessed to? Did he once ever confess to the prosecutor, the judge, his own attorneys?
No, they usually
Did he
solve
ever
crimes.
did he ever confess to the people that a confession would actually matter to outside of the prison?
I don't know.
Or did he just confess to people within the confines or within auditory earshot of DOC employees?
The confines.
Because he was saying what he thought those people wanted to hear to end his suffering.
Yeah.
Like this is so simple. If this was a coherent, logical confession of a sound mind, why wouldn't you be like, I want to talk to the police. I want to talk to the judge. I want to end this shit. I want to talk to the prosecutor. I want to talk to Liggett, Nick McClelland, Fran Gohl, Diener, Luttrell, my attorneys. Like, why wouldn't you ask to talk to a laundry list? You're going to sit down and write a letter with your chicken scratch psychotic handwriting and send it to the warden and not the judge or the prosecutor? He was confessing to the people who he thought his confession would benefit him from, and his own delusional mind.
Right. He wanted the shit to stop. He wanted his suffering to stop because but his suffering, this is where they do like a distortion, right? His suffering was not caused by his guilt. Anyone who believes that the people that killed Abby and Libby they're just laying awake at night thinking about it, all torn up over it. Like, that's not how the fuck it works.
Really big point.
They're not feeling guilt and remorse over it, first of all. Second of all, Rick's distress was not caused by guilt. His distress was caused by the fact that they were inflicting horrific. His environment was coercive and abusive. It's like insulting reading this. This is why I don't read. This is why I've kind of stopped reading it. It's like, how do they fucking sleep at night? Is my question.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Later on in this brief, they go on to talk about how, and it's the same talking points that they did at trial. It's the same ones that Stacey Diener did at the pretrial hearings, that prison healed him. He felt guilty. He wanted to apologize to the families for what he did. Fuck off, Stacy. Fuck off, all of you. Like, we are talking about a human being who who you're claiming killed 2 stranger children. These were not even women. I'd barely call them teenagers. These were children. 2 stranger children in the middle of the day on a Monday for no goddamn reason whatsoever, except they wanted to, except they liked it, except they got off on it, whatever you want to call it. This isn't somebody who spends a couple of months in solitary confinement and just has like a religious and emotional and psychotic breakdown from the guilt. Give me a fucking break. Like, how many psychotic breakdowns did BTK have? How many, like Brian Koberger, how many psychotic breakdowns did he have? Like, I could just like list them all for like for on and on and on for eternity, for every like the hundreds and hundreds of well-known psychopathic murderers that we know who just kill strangers because they fucking like it. How many of them had psychotic emotional breakdowns in prison? None, because they aren't like us. They aren't like Rick.
They're not like us.
They're not like us. They're not like Rick, and Rick is like us. Not a killer.
He's a crank.
He's a crank.
I'm just kidding, guys. I'm not saying he's cranky.
Whoever made that AI video of him like switching places with JLR, I forget who made it.
No, of course you know.
That shit was so cringe.
Who was it though? Wasn't it nerdy?
I don't know.
Yes, it was nerdy.
I think it was nerdy.
I had a guttural reaction to it. I can't even describe. Like at first I was like, huh. And then I wanted to crawl out of my skin. Like it was so upsetting just to like witness Rick as like an animated, funny person full of life. It just made me want to die. It was so sad.
Yeah.
This is why you need to regulate AI.
Yeah, DB.
Yeah.
Get on that.
So that's really. Hey, did I do a good job of getting Angela fired up? Was that a good selection to get her fired up?
Yeah, but I think that plus there's other things that could get her fired up like this.
Jamie Holmes is the son of a bitch.
Do it again. I wish it was longer, but I don't.
You want me to play or you're talking?
Jamie Holmes is the son of a bitch.
Fuck that guy.
You're valuable. Your feelings are valid, even if you're being a dumb bitch. Okay.
I love her. I love her. I love her. I love her. Yeah. Okay. So now what?
DB.
You know what's up?
Baby.
Okay. On April 5th, Alan confessed to Dr. Miller.
No. We're done. That's it. That's it for that. You're done reading.
Fly.
You did it. You did good.
God.
I would like to. Okay? I'm going to bring the mood up a little bit because there's something.
Yeah.
There's something funny I caught. I would like you to go to page 87.
87.
Yeah, go ahead.
87.
There's a
what, DB?
There's a FAFO on page 87. What is that? Oh my God. Your mouse. You're cranking.
You say 87. Well, I can't hear you. What?
You're cranking that thing like it owes you money.
Don't talk while I'm scrolling, dude. Okay, go ahead. Other evidence corroborated this conclusion. The 40 caliber cartridge found by the girl's body.
No, you don't stop. You don't just have to start reading. Go down. Angela, why do you have sunglasses on?
I can't move because I'm hard.
Alan also displayed a consciousness of guilt by lying to the police.
Oh, I might have fucked up the page number. Hold on. Ooh.
Jerry Holmes is the son of a bitch.
I guess I'm quicker than a snake.
Get that toe thumb fucking head motherfucker off
You look
my
like Tim Dillon, dude.
screen.
Except for about
You
180.
do look like Tim Dillon.
God damn it, DB. Okay, no, I'm sorry. I messed up. You're gonna need, if you can do this, you're gonna need to go back to my folder, and you're gonna need to pull up the defendant's brief for this one.
Is the son of a bitch.
It's page 87 of that one.
All right, what's it called? Andrea Yates or?
There's 5 documents there.
I know. Just give me a document number, document ID.
It's gonna say
Davis Martini.
It's gonna say brief dash appellant.
Roger.
Y'all, this is just a practice live.
That picture of Brett in our chat just
He's going like this.
It got me. It just got me.
Yeah.
I clicked the wrong tab when I was going back and forth.
Wait, which picture?
Fuck off, Brett. No. It's the picture of the vampire. The vampire. The vampire.
The vampire.
Courtney, I love when Courtney gets the zoomies. It's so fun.
No, my
he was
son,
Justin Bieber stomping before. It was so good.
my son, when he was like a toddler, he'd go, vampire. Vampire.
That's a vampire.
It's a vampire.
A vampire? Okay, Dave, we got it. We got the point.
DB.
Oh, sorry, I looked it up.
Go to page 80.
Put
it on the screen.
DB's running like 4 different.
Hug.
DB, are you on another stream right now?
Oh fuck! I'm on hella stream, dude. My bad.
I knew it. You're double dipping.
He is. He's dirty. He's probably got like another monitor over there, and he's
another monitor. He's got like 12.
I got so many fucking monitors, dude. Let me tell you what.
Keyboards he has.
How many keyboards do you have?
DB, count them. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm counting them. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 2.5. 3.5.
Is there something that we're waiting on DB to do that perhaps we missed with?
I told you I'm making a fucking meme that only I give a fuck about.
DB, just pull up. You know what? You don't even pull it up. I'll just read it.
Just read it, Mom. Go ahead.
Wait, you could have read it the whole time? Fucking do it then, dude.
Well, some people don't like to hear. I don't like to hear things being read to me. I like to see it with my eyeballs and read it myself. That's how I take in information.
Understood.
All right. So, and Richard Allen's. Hey, are you covering up my boobs with the comment bar?
Yeah, seriously, DB, what are you doing? Put me on the bottom. What are you doing?
Yeah, you're right.
We're losing people.
So page 87.
Oh, dude. This brief rules.
Wait, this is the best brief I've ever read in my life. Courtney, do you remember when we were doing another stream on the channel that shall not be? This is actually good for views. On the channel that will not be named. And like you were like talking and your webcam like fell. And
I remember.
It fell right into your cleave.
I remember
that. I think actually.
Funny. And then the third party got like super awkward.
He was like, yeah, he was like, oh boy.
You did a
he was like,
he was like, gee golly williker.
Yes,
What? 2 years we knew him, never got hit. either one of us never got hit on, right?
Well,
I won't even lie about it. I won't even lie.
I hit on you every day.
You did. You're the only one. All right.
I hit on you. I hit on DB.
Focus.
No, not lately. Okay, focus. Now, we are not reading the state's brief right now. We are reading Stacey Uliana's words. And she did, she did, I'm going to read you a sentence. She did a triple whammy right here. This bitch has layers to it, okay? And it was snuck in like so just like sneakily and covertly, and it just felt like nothing. But on page 87, it says A, standard of review. She just wants to remind the Court of Appeals what the standard of review is. And she's just going to cite a case casually when she does that, okay? She said, while, parentheses, this court assesses claims relating to admitting or excluding evidence for abuse of discretion to the extent those claims implicate constitutional issues, this court reviews them de novo. Ramirez v. State.
What does that mean?
Indiana, 2021. I'm going to tell you, DB.
Okay.
So she just wanted to like throw out like a little legal jargon, like, oh, this court reviews constitutional claims de novo. And then she just wanted to be like, yeah, de novo. So, okay, de novo. I had to look this up recently. I'm not just like teaching you something because I'm so smart and I know it. Like I had to look this up last week after this came out because I was like, what the fuck does de novo mean?
You're basically the Afro Man judge.
Yeah, I was like, what the
Judge
fuck does
Wolfmouth.
Yeah, what does de novo mean? So de novo means like in a direct appeal, it means that the appellate court is going to look at an issue from scratch. They're going to give no deference to what Goal said, to what the trial court said on that specific question. It's like they are Judge Goal and they are deciding an issue in real time from Judge Goal's perspective for the very first time this issue has ever come before them. So they're going to look at, if there's something about, was this evidence properly excluded? Was the third party evidence properly excluded? So they're going to look at the motions. They're going to look at the transcripts. They're going to look at the exhibits, like the Frank's exhibits. They're going to look at the transcripts from the motion in limine pretrial hearing. And they only do this when it's like pure questions of law, primarily when the word constitutional is in there somewhere. So the interpretation of a constitutional provision or whether evidence should have been suppressed under the Constitution, and then the legal standards that were applied by the trial court. It's not used for like, was this witness credible? Or was this factual? It's only for mostly constitutional claims. So they're going to review the entire record, pre-trial, trial, everything from Goal's perspective, like it was the first time she ever saw this issue. So that's cool. That's good. The really important part of this is the fact that she cited Ramirez.
That's not interesting at all, is it?
Super interesting. It's super interesting. And it was like, it was a kick in the nuts. It was a kick in the nuts to Judge Goal and the Court of Appeals.
Michael's just fucking shit.
What the fuck are you clicking?
I was highlighting Michael's comment, my good friend.
What? Okay, I probably got something wrong. Deal with it. It's so the Ramirez case they're talking about was Stacey Uliana's appeal case for a man named Juventino Ramirez.
Wrong.
No, that's right.
Oh, okay.
So this is Stacey Uliana's case in front of the Court of Appeals.
Uliana.
From a conviction in Judge Goal's court.
No way.
Yes.
She's gotten a conviction overturned in Goal's court?
Not in the Court of Appeals.
Oh.
The Court of Appeals.
What about the Court of Public Opinion?
Said, and they affirmed the conviction. Then they requested that it be transferred to the Supreme Court, who, on a very rare move, accepted transfer of this case. And do you know what the Supreme Court of Indiana did?
What they do?
They reversed that fucking conviction.
Oh, I thought you were going to say defund Planned Parenthood.
God damn it, Michael Osbrook.
Yeah, he's the coolest in federal court. Fuck you.
You have never told us that. I want to know 100% more about that. But so this little slippage of being like, hey, here's the standard.
Slippage.
And I'm just going to cite this. I'm just going to randomly cite this case, Ramirez v. State from 2021. It was like a triple punch. It was, hey, in case you forgot, this was a case that you affirmed that the Supreme Court took, and the Supreme Court said you were wrong. And the conviction got completely overturned. By the way, the state never retried that case. The reason it was overturned, and again, this is where I said that sometimes, just when I'm reading, it's not the claim that I think it's going to be, because there were a lot of claims that were made in this appeal. It was a child molestation case, which is tough as it is. Like, I don't even want to, like, God forbid, like, I don't even want to look at that stuff. Like, what if this person is guilty? My God. It's a touchy subject as it is. And there was a lot of various claims about why the appeal should be, or why the conviction should be overturned, similar to what we're seeing in Rick Allen's case. And the one that won with the Supreme Court was probably the least of the ones I would have suspected winning. So what happened was, the day before trial, the prosecution tried to admit brand new evidence that the defense had never seen. And this brand new evidence completely obliterated their entire trial strategy that they had been developing. They wanted time to vet it. They wanted time to interview these witnesses that were coming forth with this new information. And so they put in a motion to Judge Gohl asking for a continuance. They needed time to review it, come up with a new trial strategy. They made a whole argument about why this wasn't going to affect the state. This wasn't prejudicial to anybody. This wasn't a burden on the court. They asked for even a day, even one day, to re-strategize, interview these witnesses, get to the bottom of this new evidence we've never seen before. And Judge Gohl told them, no, you have the rest of today after voir dire to interview these witnesses. You have basically the next 24 hours to investigate this new evidence and come up with an entirely brand new trial strategy. And the Court of Appeals, in their opinion, when they affirmed the conviction, said the trial court gave Ramirez an afternoon and evening to interview the two witnesses who had been listed on the witness list during the entire proceeding. Ramirez chose not to interview them. He did not make a good faith effort to prepare given the time allotted to him, and cannot show how he was prejudiced by the denial of a short continuance. The defendant has not demonstrated how he was prejudiced. The trial court did not abuse its discretion in denying Ramirez for a continuance. The Supreme Court accepted transfer of that case and said, by the way, with no dissenters, every Supreme Court justice concurred with the opinion. We hold that Ramirez was denied a fair proceeding. The local rule is void because it imposes requirements not found in our trial rules for obtaining otherwise discoverable evidence. And the record is devoid of any specific reason to support the court's issuance of a protective order for the video. These were all the other claims. Although we ultimately find that neither basis requires reversal, we conclude that the trial court's denial of Ramirez's motion for continuance does. The court abused its discretion because there is no evidence it engaged in the appropriate balancing of interests when it denied the request, and Ramirez made specific showings as to why additional time was necessary and how it would have benefited the defense. We therefore reverse Ramirez's conviction and remand for a new trial. There was not a new trial. The state never retried it, by the way. Isn't that interesting?
Wow. It's pretty interesting.
Are you?
So this is a pattern.
Are you dazzled? I just thought when I saw that in the defendant's brief, I was like, oh, she went there. She went. She
said, Fran, hey Fran, you dropped this, bitch.
Yeah, all the way there.
I love that. Gull is often wrong. She sure is. She sure is. What did DB do in here? I'm looking for you know what I'm looking for? Well, never mind. I don't know where it is.
Where did he? Oh,
Never heard so much malarkey in my whole life. I never heard.
Wrong.
He's not even in here. How is he putting this stuff up?
The greatest president of all
Well
time.
done, Corky. You're so smart and amazing, and so beautiful, and also intelligent, and also you do a really good job of doing a read and doing an explain. And that I learned a lot from that.
I feel like if I put sunglasses on, we would all look really cohesive.
Yeah, we would actually. Oh my God, look, DB. I stole these from DB's dresser when I was in there cleaning up some of his toys and locking up his birds that he just left. Yeah, yours.
Hey, okay, before we get more serious, who wants to do a merch drop?
Merch drop. A merch drop. I guess we got a new merch drop.
Well, somebody's got to. I got to see some fucking woohoos in the chat, please. Can I see some wee wees? No, actually, never mind.
What merge?
Anthony Rene.
Oh shit! I forgot we were not doing that.
You didn't mean it. They're gonna clip that.
Where's that guy been?
Okay, we got a woohoo.
Who cares?
Whoa.
In that corner, whoa. Bitch, hold on tight, cause I tweak in this bitch silent.
No, that Doug Carter clip is my favorite one you've ever.
Is it really your favorite?
I just want you to know that it's the spread legs. The ooh, there's something about it that just
it's so fucking wild.
It hits everything that I like. Do it again. It hits everything I like.
Autism.
Do it again. Oh, drop. Oh, drop.
In that corner, whoa. Bitch, hold on tight, cause I tweak in this bitch silent. In that corner, whoa. Bitch, hold on tight, cause I tweak in this bitch silent.
Okay. That's enough.
Why did we just glitch?
About Abby and Libby, their families, and this community, this nation, and even our planet.
What? Our planet? Why is he roping in the planet?
I don't like that when you drop a media asset, it auto mutes me.
Yeah, it's a little weird. Okay, we're doing the merch.
I don't
You guys
like
ready?
that. Okay.
It's gonna piss some people off, but you know what? I just thought in the spirit of fighting the system, you know what I mean? I wanted to embody some merches that can
just show it.
Create. Well,
What
I'm
is
doing a bit. Can I do the bit?
I'm sorry.
Okay. So I'm trying to, accentuate the feeling of hopelessness and of what the attorneys did to try to fight for Rick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh God.
It's a strong fist.
That's so fucked. It's amazing. I love it. It's perfect.
So
Did you see what it was called?
Wait, can you do it again? Is it a thumbs up, DB? What is that? A thumbs up or what?
it's a
What
thumbs
is it?
up. You know, it's a
Yeah.
it's a power fist.
Yeah, we're
with just a
cool.
little bit of a mod. It's just got that thumbs out, that
Mhm.
okay kind of go ahead.
Yeah.
No objection. We're all good.
Yes. No. Yeah. Stipulation. Yeah, we're good. We did a stipulate and we have no objection.
You know, everything that we fucking fought for, we're all good, dude.
Sure. And you know what? While we're at it, nothing further, Your Honor. We're gonna rest.
You know what? We
I
talked
don't-
enough. Let's go ahead and shut this thing down. You know what I mean?
Everybody wants to probably go home, right? We're all tired of. We're all tired.
And you know what? What I will say is, like, when it comes
Angela
to
looking
this
like
systemic,
she looking like she's in Days of Thunder, or Top Gun over there.
the Maverick, she looks like. Never mind.
Oh, jeez.
I forgot some rules some ground rules we
Thank
set.
you very much. I know what you're about to say.
You know, when it comes to the systemic inequality of the state and the people that are going against it, you know, one thing I will say about the defense is it's not like they had access to free appellate advice from seasoned appellate attorneys
Right.
that could advise them on potential appeal issues.
Right.
And
No.
so
The
Yeah.
defense rests.
That would be nice if they had access to you know, that free access. Even imagine a real pipe dream.
Michael, what was I wrong about? It's eating away at me. Did he say what I was wrong about? I was talking and talking, and then
you said de
and he
novo
was
wrong.
he was like, no.
Michael,
He was like,
Michael's on a
no.
roll.
And it's gonna
Here.
keep me up. It's gonna keep me up at night.
I got a good one. So a landmark Supreme Court case was Bell versus Wolfish, which basically decided that when somebody is detained, you have to read them their Miranda rights.
No,
The
I don't think that's
Mirandas.
right. I think that's wrong.
No, how is that wrong? Carpenter versus United States.
I don't know. Bell v. Wolfish is punishment. It's you cannot punish a pretrial defendant.
Right. Okay, maybe that.
Did I literally say de novo wrong? Is there another fucking pronunciation of that I don't know about? It's
I got some-
DE. It's DE novo. De novo. What did I say?
De novo? Is it de novo?
What did I say?
You said it perfectly. I thought I in fact I like the way you said it and I prefer your pronunciation.
It was 6 letters. How could I have possibly messed it up that bad?
You didn't, Courtney. The men don't know what they're talking about.
Okay.
They're lost.
Well, I
The
figured I
torture
was
tapes
wrong
are me.
about.
Or this video right here, this fucking
The
live.
torture tapes is DB.
Okay, so Michael
managing the
Oswald
live.
cited the case earlier in the chat. It was Lewis versus Zatecki. I was
Tell me
just
about it,
reading
DB.
it. So it's a complete abandonment at sentencing can trigger a chronic issue. So prejudice is presumed. Counsel was physically present but gave essentially no advocacy at all. The Seventh Circuit ordered resentencing. You know what? What did he just pull that out of nowhere? Or does that kind of remind you? Michael saw my shirt and went and looked this case up. So I appreciate that, Michael.
Oh, I get it. They say it's de novo, but it isn't. So on paper, they're going to review it from scratch, like the trial court judge from the very first time. But in practice, ain't nobody got time for that. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, then I found some other case that Michael was talking about is Connor versus Regal. This is an equitable tolling case. I think somebody brought it up to him in chat. The court held that a post-conviction counsel mistake about filing deadline or tolling agreement was ordinary attorney error, not the kind of external obstacle needed for tolling. So no tolling and no habeas relief on that basis. Okay. Lewis was about a breakdown of representation at a critical stage. which is a chronic issue. And then there's a late habeas filing. Well, I think if it has anything to do with the federal tolling, there's equitable tolling. I think it's kind of the same as the civil conversation, where there's certain ways around the statute of limitations if there's some type of new or incomplete action. So I think one of the attorneys did talk about this. I do recall. The other thing I wanted to get into is waiver, objection.
Tell me about waivers.
Okay, so
let's hold on, wait, real quick. I'm gonna Control F. Okay, well, that's actually surprising. I was going to see the waiver count in the state's brief. There's only 3 times they say the word waiver. I feel like it was 40. But
did they
anyways,
spell it wrong anywhere?
Maybe. Let's.
Oh, I keep forgetting Nick didn't write
Let
that.
me look. Wave. Oh, wait. I just put in wave instead of waiver. Wave 29.
Bob's about to take a screenshot and send it to fucking Andy. Okay, here you go. Show Andy. Screenshot it.
So if you Control F wave in the state's brief, we got to count. We got a 29 count.
Send him this one too. Just for good measure. You have 29 of those?
29 wave.
Oh. Okay, how do you spell
29?
Weineke? The prosecution diaries. Hell yeah, dude. 1982. Isn't that the year the fucking Bears won the whatever the fuck?
The
Stanley
Bears.
Cup? Okay, so this young lady on Twitter that I follow said that there have been a few questions about whether Rick Allen's appellate attorneys can reply to the state's waiver arguments by claiming the issues are not waived under fundamental error exception. No, they cannot. That's fucking done for. Finito. If the fundamental error exception was going to be raised, it had to be raised on the initial appellant's brief. It cannot be raised. There's Bob in the town square of Delphi. This is briefly after he was hit by a sign that smelled like cigarettes.
Assaulted by a poster. Yeah, a menthol cigarette poster board assault.
It cannot be raised for the first time in the reply brief. Instead, Indiana appellate courts treat that issue or exception as also waived. I have had that happen to me, not me. I'm reading somebody else's post. To me, many years ago, it was a frustrating lesson to learn. Yet she learned it years ago. I don't even know this person knows. Kyra Wininki?
Okay, go on.
Excuse me.
I just didn't.
From this chick's blog.
I missed the context.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know. Why didn't she help with the case? Like, she sounds like she's very knowledgeable about appellate law. She posts on Twitter. She's in Indiana.
She knows a thing or two.
Why didn't she just like introduce herself to the defense and just kindly offer her advice?
She did.
I don't know. She did?
She's on camera in the Supreme Court hearing the orals.
Anyways.
You know about that.
I have had that happened to me many years ago, but when she was like fucking 16, when she first started practicing law. Jerry was too busy with the ham Sammy to stop the crimes in the town square. Yeah, the fucking counterfeit parrot vendor.
A ham Sammy.
What can the appellant raise? Well, the appellant can cite the case law that holds that when we're dealing with denial of constitutional rights, appellate courts in Indiana prefer to decide the claims on their merits rather than punting them to post-conviction. Or the appellant could argue for a change in waiver law, particularly with the issue of whether a continuing objection is waived by the no objection statement. Okay, so isn't there a law now? I think there's like an actual statutory law that says that you don't have to have a continuing objection.
Oh, that's new. That is new.
It's new. It doesn't apply.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna backdate it.
Okay, I'm gonna ask her right now. Is this isn't
I mean, they might ask. I mean, they could ask.
law?
They can always be like, "Hey, can you just retroactive this?" That's right, retroactive this cool new thing.
And just quit twerking on the screen, dude. New law that isn't there.
That's
a
right.
New law
The state can waive these nuts. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Waive this. Waive this.
Okay. But then this porpoise said, well, a case may exist, but I've never seen we prefer to decide cases on their merits case where the result was not the same as if they simply said the issue was waived. Doing the merits with the same result as a waiver does clean up the post-conviction record, though. Well, what a bummer. I do see that's kind of it seems like it would be a really nice way for the state to just tell someone to go fuck off and be like, yeah, we hear you. We're going to look at it on its merits and tonight anyways. Seems like it'd be used for a lot more bad than good. Also, hey.
I mean, it's kind of like what the state is doing in this entire brief, though. It's like, you ain't wrong, but it don't matter.
No.
I mean, what you're saying isn't wrong, but it was harmless, or like the defense like procedurally didn't handle this correctly. So you can't talk about it now. Like,
right.
Okay, that's some weak shit though. That's some weak shit.
That's the whole thing with the waiver too, is like,
that's pretty gay.
I agree. You said it. So I don't think what are they saying, that they should have objected?
Yeah, pretty much everything in here is like just some procedural like technicality about, oh, you didn't say yeah, you didn't like say these Latin words at trial when you should have, so
right.
You can't say this now. Is like super gay.
Which is so lame, dude. Who cares?
It's really lame.
Somebody commented that on some random post I made about the topic, and they're like, well, why doesn't it just count? I'm like, you know what? That's the stupidest fucking thing I ever heard, but that's a good point.
DB, if you can, like in those 5 documents that are in that folder, if you can,
folder?
Yeah, and the 5 documents that are there, if you can find the one that says state's brief.
The one that's yours?
Yeah, it's the last one. If you could just pull that up real quick.
Okay, I'm gonna pull this one up real quick.
If you could just try to pull that up. I mean, I know it's a lot to go through.
I'm looking.
5. It's the only one that has the word state in the title, I think.
State's brief.
That's the one.
State's brief.
Is that Lickumlow Liggett?
That's Tony Lickumlow, dude. Shout out to Skin Row for giving me this idea. I was like, you know what? I was laying down in bed and kind of longing for some Delphi content in my own mind, and Skin Row said that on Shaboobies and Keith's pod.
His face is perfect.
You know, I was like,
fucking crypt keeper.
I was like, you know what? I'll just look at some fucking AI. I'll just throw it in AI. You know, I like to just fuck up some Photoshop. You know, fuck up some. I'm more of an open source type of guy. You know, so I'm big into Affinity Photo. Hit me up, sponsor me. No, I'd normally do that, but really, I just decided to do, to look at it, throw it in the old Gemini Nano Banana, and there it was. First one shot. That's what happened. I'm looking for something, so Talking like this.
Hey, Gray Space, that's a good question. It's a good question, Gray Space. We need to speak our piece. If I can just get DB to pull up this fucking document, one of the five. If I can just,
Dude.
If I can just get through all these words that are inside of me, if I can just say them out loud.
Yeah, you can pull it up. You know what I mean?
We can get to that.
You can do whatever you want.
I can't, but I can't share. Like I can't. Oh, wait a minute. Can I? Can I do this?
Of course you can.
God.
If you know how.
D beans. Can I really
What?
do this?
Do it. I was just reading all the reply guys to Todd Rokita. Fucking Keith said, "Fuck yourself in the ass." So I'm gonna send a FOIA in and see if he's done that yet. I'll send the old FOIA in, see what he's been up to, give himself the old Key West boomerang.
If I just share my screen, then what?
Then you'll be able to reference it as you talk.
Have I been able to do this the whole time?
The whole time.
Son of a bitch. Well, I don't want to just share my screen. Everybody's going to see my weird tabs I have open.
Yeah. So you have to close them. So maybe it takes a little bit longer to
do
get it all around. Is what you're saying?
I don't want to do that. Let me see if I can just add a slide or a PDF. Let me see here.
That's going to cost you $14 a month.
That's fine. State's brief of appealee. And does it just come up on the screen? Like, do I just click it and it comes up on the screen and then I can just take over?
You could do whatever the fuck you want, man.
Where is Angela?
Angela's gone, dude. That was all AI. I already thought
It's crazy. She just goes away. Like, she just goes away. She's
okay, I'm going to share it.
Oh, wait. There's messages in the private chat. Maybe I should look at that.
It's Ange saying, please stop talking. You're ruining my channel. Okay, you're up, dude.
Is she serious?
What?
Hold on. Okay.
It's okay. Everything's fine. Let's invite all of her enemies on.
Slide. So I have to go to like slide. I can't just. Oh, I can click the page. Hold on.
You can do.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. I got to scroll here to 92. Look at that. I didn't know I could do that this whole time.
Apparently.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay. What did I want to show you? All right. So about towards the end of this top paragraph, okay, it says, despite having the surveillance video at trial, Allen never asked Weber to identify his van on that video, to expose his allegedly false testimony, or even to impeach him. This was presumptively a matter of trial strategy. See Davis Martin v. State. That was an Indiana Court of Appeals case from 2019, finding that there was no NAPUI violation when the defense had the police. Yeah, when the defense had the police reports and chose not to ask the witness about it. So I was like, well, that's really interesting. I would like to look up that case and learn a little bit more about it. And let me just tell you, it is laughable that they cited this case like it has any similarities or any bearings on Rick's case. So in the Davis Martin v. State appeals case, if I can like role play out the testimony that they are throwing the NAPUI flag on, is something like they asked a cop a question, like let's say Holman was asked a question and he responded with, "Not that I recall."
Right. Which he doesn't recall much.
That's it. Like that's basically the Davis Martin case. What they're calling NAPUI on is that Oh, he did recall. He did recall, and it's right here in his police reports of what really was said. So basically, because the testimony that they wanted to get out of the witness, they didn't get with their question, and he answered with, "Not that I can recall." They tried to throw the NAPUI flag on that. And that's not the same thing as what we're claiming here in Alan's case. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Whenever you mute yourself, it gets really quiet in my headphones and I feel scared.
Well, I won't mute myself and I'll just keep scrolling. So I feel.
Yeah, your background noise is comforting.
Wasn't this before Glossip as well? But I think it still applies, right? They can still use it.
Yeah, this would be before Glossip, but it just doesn't have this is the only thing they could find to cite as a time the Court of Appeals denied an appeal based on a NAPUI claim. It's not the same thing. Like to try to claim that it wasn't the defense's job, and basically the Court of Appeals, I guess I could pull it up. I can do it. How do I?
Hey, just object though. You know what I mean? What the fuck? Why would you say no objection? Can we get an answer to that? No objection? Just say, noting my previous objections. Noting my outside of my motion. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen worse attorneys do better.
I can.
What is it? They just want to be annoying. They didn't want to annoy Gall and say, we have a continuing objection.
I didn't know I could just share a tab.
Yeah. You can do whatever you want, dude.
So here's the Davis Martin case.
You're on my channel.
So they kind of reiterate, it's well established that a conviction obtained through use of false evidence falls under 14th Amendment. The same result obtains when the state, although not soliciting false evidence, allows it to go uncorrected when it appears. Davis Martin claims that he should have been given the opportunity to argue to the jury that these two witnesses were serial snitches. As the state points out, during discovery, it provided him with Detective Cook's police reports. Blah, 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 blah. If Davis Martin was not satisfied with Detective Cook's "not that I recall" responses, then he should have asked him about the police reports. He didn't do so. Accordingly, the trial court did not abuse its discretion in denying Davis Martin's motion to correct error on this ground either. So it's impeachment, I guess, would be, the correct term. So it would be like, let's say whenever in Rick's trial, they were grilling Mullen about what Rick actually said during his interview. And Mullen is saying, oh, he said he went this way. And then they took a lunch break and they came back and the defense was like, Baldwin was like, you lied to this jury right before lunch, didn't you? And he got all fired up about it because Mullen told a lie, and that lie was very provable through the video that they had. So this is kind of similar to that. It would be like if Baldwin never called out Mullen on what he really said about the way Rick told police that he drove to the trails on February 13th, and Baldwin just didn't ever grill him on that or present the video of Rick's interrogation and didn't do anything to try to correct that record. And then tried to, I don't know, this is probably a terrible example, to be honest, because that kind of does seem like false testimony. If there's an example from the trial where somebody just said, "not that I can recall," I don't know. I feel like that was probably said a billion times, and it doesn't really strike me as the same level of verdict impacting false testimony that the Weber van story did. It just doesn't feel like the same thing to me. What do y'all think?
Alan's best appellant argument was ineffective assistance of counsel. What do you mean was? Mullen told a lie. Shocking. Okay, so I was looking at this other case, Smith versus State, which is I think you looked at this too, right? That's another Nepal case. It was prosecuted for a Dollar General burglary in South Bend. Shout out Notre Dame. The store manager was involved. She pled guilty herself, but at Smith's trial, she testified that Smith was the one who went into the store while she acted as a lookout. The defense argued that this was an effectively perjury because of her prior statements, including her plea hearing, pointed differently, and the state knew it. The Indiana Supreme Court agreed, in general, NAPU rule, a conviction obtained through knowingly using false testimony and evidence must fall. But it held that it did not happen here. The key reason was that Nicole Greenlee's plea hearing was never actually said. That's really the last name. I don't fucking know. Smith was uninvolved. The state did not hide the inconsistency. The prosecutor flagged it as conflicting versions. See, this is where I think the issue is going to be. The court addressed this issue before she testified, and the jury was able to hear contradictions, and they were able to judge her credibility for itself. So they're, I guess, saying that it wasn't, the standard is whether or not it is actually false in the eyes of the court. I mean, obviously that's the case in all these decisions, but it seems like there's a lot more discretion, because I could see them saying, well, this is not a Nepal issue because Liggett was just kidding, or Liggett, there was the conflicting information was available in the record or in the discovery that showed inconsistencies in what Liggett put in the PCA or something like that. Can you all hear me still? Did she leave? Oh, she's back.
I don't know what I pushed. I was just trying to go to the bathroom real quick, and I clicked the wrong button, and it made me look like I was gone.
Okay, so the holding was Nepal remains good law in Indiana, but Smith still lost because the court found no knowing use of false testimony in the due process sense. Indiana Supreme Court granted transfer and affirmed the conviction. This story of my life, Bob. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just feel like they're going to be like, well, it wasn't really that bad. Like it's all going to come down to, how they look at this. And I have a feeling that they're going to look at it in light most favorable to the state in the due process sense. Yeah. Like, as in they didn't give them opportunity to cross-examine it because they knew the inconsistencies and they could cross-examine it because they knew the opposite side of what was being said. Whereas, like, I think the issues that are more clear-cut are where it was totally hidden and they later find that they not only put on the false information, but the information proving that it was false was not discoverable. I mean,
I know what you mean.
But I think in general, I think the IAC claim is good. I see people talking about IAC. I think it's a good claim. The issue is that the Attorney General doesn't want to deal with it on direct appeal or deal with some of these issues on direct appeal. So I think they're just like telling the court, yeah, this is an ineffective assistance of counsel claim because of not objecting. Now, I know that IAC claims fail often when it's a strategic failing where, they don't call a witness because they'll say, you know, this witness could also provide testimony that hurts the defendant's case, and so we won't call them. Well, then you can't really claim ineffective assistance of counsel because it was strategic. But that's also very interpretable by the different perspectives there are in the case, I feel like.
Yeah.
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 That's what I'm saying, dude. Okay, and then let's see. What else? Steary versus State. Indiana Court of Appeals 2024, applying NAPU, confirms the state has a duty to correct false testimony when it appears already in the state's reply, but absent from Ellen's opening brief. Reply adds it as direct Indiana precedent for issues 1 and 4.
There's only like 3 questions that matter with this claim.
Okay, what are they?
I mean? It's was the testimony false or misleading? That's one. Did the state know, or should they have known? And could it have affected the verdict? And what Glossop recently did is said, is there any reasonable likelihood that it affected the verdict? That's the only fucking questions. That's the only thing that matters. Like, period.
Yeah.
So, like, in the case that the state cited, the Davis Martin, was the testimony false or misleading? A cop saying, not that I recall. I mean, was that testimony in bad faith? Maybe. Was he full of shit? Probably. Like, can you prove that it was false or misleading? No.
Yeah, it's just, you can't, especially if you don't push on it correctly, you can't really preserve the issue if they're just saying that they don't recall. Like, if you don't ask them, did this happen and this happened, or did you put this in a police report that said this happened, and they say, I don't recall. Well, you say, do you deny that it's in the report? Or yeah, that too. But I think with some of the improper impeachment arguments, I think we're not able to get into some of the impeachment. But so the other one that was cited for Nepal, another 2024 Indiana Court of Appeals case, Steary v. State. Michael Steary was convicted of level 3 felony, bad type charges, and after a night of drinking in which the victim passed out on the couch and later woke up to an assault. The Indiana Appeals Court affirmed the convictions. On the false testimony issue, Steary argued that the state violated due process because the victim trial testimony was more detailed than her earlier deposition testimony. The court rejected that claim. It held that the record did not show the state knowingly presented false information. Instead, the victim said she had remembered additional details over time. The defense was allowed to cross-examine her about the inconsistency. And if they decided to not cross-examine her about the inconsistency because it would make the defense look like they were attacking the victim, that's a strategic decision. And I feel like that.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree. Like, that's.
Okay, then the state. Okay, so the part of that ruling that they could use is that the due process is violated when the state knowingly uses false testimony, and the state cannot let false evidence stand uncorrected. But Steary itself is not a defense win on that issue. Better cited the governing Indiana rule and for a favorable application because the court found no proven falsity. Okay, so you think that's probably what they're going to say in the court? I feel like that's what the court is going to say. The van is not about inconsistencies. Interesting.
Let me just
there was a van?
out. The reason the state absolutely knew for sure. Oh, you muted yourself. It gets scary when you mute yourself, DB.
Oh, sorry, I was clearing my throat.
The reason the state knew Brad Weber's timeline and knew that he was not home at 2:30 p.m. or around 2:30 p.m. anytime in the general vicinity when Libby's phone stopped moving at 2:32 p.m., which signals they were already across the creek to the location where they were going to be killed, and her phone was not mobile anymore. He was not home anywhere near that time, is because Brad Weber was a prime suspect. Per Rich Davies and Orion, Brad Weber was a top 10 suspect in November of 2017. In November of 2017, after a tip came in, Rich Davies made a notation in Orion that this information will be reviewed when ISP does its top 10 review next month. That's what Rich Davies said. Brad Weber was a prime suspect because of his proximity to the crime scene and because some questionability about the time he said he arrived home and the questionability about when he really got off work and when he left work and blah, 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 blah. So the whole ass local, state, and federal government went above and beyond to collect any and all evidence they could to validate Brad Weber's timeline. Fuck his van, fuck his Subaru, fuck whatever he was actually, like whatever vehicle he was driving, whether it had a trailer attached to it or not, whether he went and worked on ATMs after work or not that day. It doesn't matter. They knew what time he got home that day, and they knew it wasn't around 2:30 p.m. They knew it was well after the victim's phone stopped moving and that the victims were believed to be dead. That's what they knew because they did a whole celebrate extraction on his phone. They saw conversations that he had with other people that day when he was leaving work, when he was arranging for this trailer to be picked up, to when he was saying, hey, it's going to be in the lot, I'm leaving, or whenever his phone connected to his home Wi-Fi, signaling he got in whatever vehicle he was in range to his parents' home's Wi-Fi so that his phone connected to it. His phone was never turned off. We know that because he was connected to Safari and he was listening to things and because he was texting people and because he was on Facebook. We know there was never any break in the communications on his phone.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Nick McLeland knows that or should have known that because he was a prime suspect in this very case that he is prosecuting right now. So to act like, oh, this video that maybe shows a van, we don't know. It wasn't validated. The defense didn't validate the timestamps. Guess what? It's not the defense's job to validate the timestamps or the metadata on a piece of state discovery on one of their top 10 suspects. Nick can't simultaneously, and the AG by default can't simultaneously claim that this evidence was good enough to clear Brad Weber as a suspect, but also it's not good enough to prove the validity of when Brad Weber did or did not arrive home. They can't claim those things. And even if they could or they couldn't, guess what? It's not the defense's burden to prove that. It's the state's burden to correct false testimony or correct testimony that could even remotely be misleading to the jury if they know or should have known that they have evidence in their possession in their own investigation's discovery that calls that timeline into question, which they did. And not one piece, not two pieces, like 5 or 6 different pieces of evidence in their own discovery because they investigated this person as a suspect. So it's not even a matter of should they have known. They absolutely fucking knew. And even if Nick McLeland personally didn't know, Steve Mullen knew, Jerry Holman knew, Doug Carter knew, Rich Davies knew. Because they investigated this person as the killer. For fuck's sake.
Yeah.
It's not even
No,
it's not debatable. It's not even debatable. They knew They knew that what Brad Weber was saying on that stand about getting home around 2:30 was bullshit. They knew it. And he still let it get said. It doesn't even matter if Brad Weber knew. It's not the point. Whether Brad Weber was intentionally lying or committing perjury or not, that literally doesn't matter. That's no different than saying Dan McCain committed perjury or lied, or that Derek German committed perjury or lied, because there's things that they said in their testimony that everybody, all of us know were completely provably factually incorrect. Was it on purpose? I don't fucking know. Did it affect the jury's decision? Probably not. It was like just random little tidbits that people who are case experts like all of us are know were wrong. But I mean, again, these people are being asked to recall and retell something that happened 7 years ago from their own crazy memories. Could they have just bungled it or screwed it up? Yeah, maybe. Did it affect the verdict? Probably not. But Brad Weber arriving home around 2:30 p.m. in a van after Rick confesses to seeing a van and then getting scared and ushering the girls across the creek, that absolutely fucking matters. Which, as the appellate attorneys have stated in their briefs, repeatedly in multiple different ways, how this absolutely affected the verdict. Forget reasonable likelihood that it contributed to the verdict. It did. It absolutely did. Nick McClelland said this made the timeline line up, quote unquote, perfectly, and proved that he knew something that only the real killer would know. To act like this didn't affect the jury is preposterous. It's preposterous. It's preposterous for the AG to defend. It's preposterous if the Court of Appeals poo-poos it away, which they very well might. It's preposterous to act like this didn't affect the jury's verdict, because the jury might have been sitting there looking at the horrific videos of what Rick was like in Westville, and how this was obviously, clearly a really mentally unwell man. But that little tidbit that made one of the confessions really super believable with a super niche detail. I mean, as a jury who's not fact experts like all of us are, how could they look away from that? I mean, could you? Could I? I don't know. It kind of just made it seem like, yeah, these conditions were bad. And yeah, he was batshit crazy out of his mind because of what they did to him. But also, he's probably the killer.
Not great.
No, not at all.
Okay. So on this, I wanted to talk about the firearm really quick. Warren testified that Oberg failed to properly apply the AFTE methodology in this specific case. Tobin would have testified that AFTE methodology itself lacks reliability standards. A more structural critique, Warren, working with the AFTE framework, did not and could not make. So agreed, 100%. So there's still the issue of how Tobin was presented, I think, as an expert, an additional firearms expert. I think that maybe if they would have framed it differently, that she would have denied it still, but I think it would have been a better way. It could be better for the appeal, the way that they approached it, because I do think they may say that the defense had their own expert in firearms. They didn't need two experts. And I think it's a stupid argument, and I get the nuance of it, but I just think that what is actually going to win the day could be the courts finding that to be easily solved by saying the expert was a duplicate expert. So I think they probably should have framed him a little bit differently as a metallurgist. And also on the AFT methodology, like a lot of people were critical that Dr. Warren did not examine the firearm himself. Now, it seems like that would be a really good thing to do. And I think in the eyes of the jury, that may be what you have to do. But I think looking at it from more logical perspective is if he were to actually examine the firearm and conduct his own testing, he is in a way like giving credence to Oberg's methodology. Because if somebody just says that they did some fucking magical, some magical experiment that doesn't make any sense, and then you start doing this magical experiment, you're doing a fucking magical experiment. And, they're going to argue, well, if it's so bizarre, why did you try to do it too? And maybe that doesn't play as good in front of the jury as him not doing it at all for the state. But, I just think that there's probably, they probably should have just examined it. Maybe like just physically examine the gun just so you could say, no, I examined it. That doesn't fucking mean anything, right? And also, guess what? The FTE, guess how they do their qualifications? They don't fucking examine the firearm. They look at pictures.
Hey, guess what? What Oberg is not certified in, because she is AFTI certified in firearms examinations. Guess what she's not AFTI certified in?
What?
Toolmark. That's a separate certification, which she doesn't have.
The American Firearms Toolmark Examiners?
Yeah, they have different, there's like 3 different certifications you can get with them. One of them is firearms. Another one is tool marks. She has the fire marks certification. She does not have the tool marks certification. And guess what we are dealing with in the Delphi case?
What?
Fucking tool marks. I don't know why why Rick's appellate brief, and maybe this is what you were already saying, is so focused on what's his butt, Tobin, being a witness called to dispute the AFTI methodology. He's a metallurgist. He's an expert on metal coming into contact with metal. He testifies for like train crash trials and things where there's like some instance of metal coming into contact with metal. And that's literally the only thing that matters in the Delphi case. You have a bullet with marking. You have a piece of metal with markings.
Touching another piece of metal.
Being, allegedly caused by another thing made of metal coming into contact with it. Like, it's great. It's great that he had all of this testimony to offer about, critiquing AFTI. That's great that he had that kind of testimony to offer. But he also knows a fucking thing or two about metal coming into contact with metal.
Yeah, I mean, he was the United States. He was the premier expert for that field when he was the FBI's national supervisor of the crime lab.
Like, why aren't we talking about that?
No offer to prove what Tobin's testimony would have been waived. Yeah, so does that waive the issue altogether? Because then why did they raise it in the appeal? The defense tried to do an offer of proof. I do remember that. I remember them. Yeah, Tobin beat. It's a Hammond, Indiana case that Tobin beat Oberg in.
That's true.
In the 2000s.
Even though Oberg said she's never been wrong.
Stephen Michael Day was the name, if you guys want to look it up.
Look at you.
Yeah, she was definitely wrong. And that was just another, weird ass case too. But that guy actually got acquitted, obviously, because she was wrong. Weird case. But also, so the thing with Tobin is like, he's, I think, was better suited to, like a lot of people made the point of, he's there to disqualify the entire methodology of AFTE, whereas Dr. Warren is, he's a hometown AFTE kid, he's got a fucking AFTE Letterman jacket, and maybe that's just not the type of expert you want when it comes to that. But also the argument is going to be, well, they're not a certified firearms expert, so what do they know about firearms? It's a revolving door. I don't like the argument. I disagree with it, but like, I think that ends up being how the state would argue it, I feel like. But I think another big reason they are not going to be able to go anywhere on Oberg's testimony is the Turner versus State case. I know we had talked about this one in the past, but like, this is a 2006 case in Indianapolis. Some dude just totally massacred 4 adults and some little adults. Horrible case. And he actually did it with a rifle. And what ended up happening was people said it was this guy. So they went and found him, and come to find out there was some unfired rifle ammunition at some other house. And so they basically said it was this gun, that gun. And what it ended up coming down to was that even though the expert's bench notes were all fucked up, and I can't remember that expert's name in that case, but he's testified in another case. It's like a more famous Indiana case. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think he lost 2 in that one. But this guy basically was just like spitballing about how you could compare how this gun could have shot these. The unspent rounds were the same as the other, the unspent rounds were the same as the type that were fired at the actual
at the what?
Crime,
at the what, DB?
at the crime scene. Okay, so at trial, basically they just say you disagree with the way the expert did it. You, instead of ruling that this evidence can't come in, we're going to give you a gift. Even though this is bullshit evidence, this gift we're going to give you is cross-examination.
Oh,
you get to cross-examine them on the stand.
You're just perfectly leading up into something that I wanted to talk about.
Well, yeah. So basically, the whole idea is that if you could cross-examine them, like they don't apply Daubert or Fry for that reason. Well, not for that reason, but they don't have it. So like, there really isn't a way to challenge the experts' actual findings, and I don't think it's an easy way to look back on from an appellate standpoint either. That it's not like they're like, this is a case that's cited all the time when people are like, this firearms evidence is super shitty. The state's like, yeah, we'll fucking see this.
Yeah, well,
Turner v. State
Daubert. And they just explode Daubert everywhere.
Yeah, sorry about the story. It's like the notes I was looking at was really graphic and unnecessary, and I was trying to skip through it and started saying stuff from my memory, because I do remember the case being a mass shooting, and then this Michael Putzik guy, and but the other thing too about that case is it was an AK-47, which are stamped, way less accurate as far as tool mark goes. Also, very common gun. A SIG is, pretty common for law enforcement, but like one of the most common guns for a street crime to be committed with is an AK-47, or it was an SKS, sorry, but basically the same thing. Fucking A. So, they're very different, but I just think that that's kind of like a catch-all case that I've seen where they're just like, sorry, you got to cross-examine them, or you failed to cross-examine them properly, so you just don't.
Well, I mean, on that note, maybe would you like to read the very first couple of sentences in what we still have up on the screen?
Allen's claim also fails on the third step of NAPOW. In this step, reviewing courts will consider whether the defendant had an adequate opportunity to expose the false testimony on cross-examination. The state had disclosed the surveillance video from Weber's neighbor and the FBI's ping report to the defense prior to trial.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
And our friend Michael of Osberg, of course, was the one to catch this Freeman citation. So Allen's claim fails on the third step of the Napui claim. What fucking third step are they talking about? What is this third step? Like, if I'm counting steps, the third step is, did it have any reasonable likelihood of affecting the verdict? If we're counting steps, that's the third step, right? In this step, and they give us a little lesson pulled out of their asses, apparently. In this step, reviewing courts will consider whether the defendant had an adequate opportunity to expose the false testimony. This isn't a thing. Like, I swear to God, they tried to do an AI. They tried to plug in an AI response to the claim, the Napui claim. And this is what it spit out and gave them a citation from a case that doesn't say literally anything about that. I mean, I Googled it to the end of the earth, trying to look up this Freeman case, and there's nothing. This isn't a thing. Freeman doesn't say this. Napui doesn't say this. Nothing says this. It says quite the fucking opposite. They just made that up. They just completely made that part up. That's not a thing. If there was anything that they could have interpreted that as from Freeman, maybe it was some interpretation of if the defense did effectively impeach on their cross-examination or expose the false testimony, then maybe the jury wasn't misled and that was remedied during trial. If anything, maybe it said something like that, but you'd have to paraphrase and interpret it that way. It says nothing even remotely similar to what they claim they cited right there. They pulled that out of their asses entirely. And I'm going to be so disappointed if I don't see them scorched in the reply brief for that, because that's wild. That part was wild, what they just said right there. That's not a thing.
Interesting. So this is the Davis Martin state case you were talking about?
No. So the second part is the Davis Martin part. The first part, they try to cite Freeman, saying that it basically is the defense's job on cross-examination to expose false testimony. Freeman doesn't say anything about that, nor does Napui. That's crazy what they just said right there. They just made that up. They completely made that part up. Napui specifically says in a million different ways, enforced by Glossip, that the burden is on the state. The defense doesn't have to do shit to correct false testimony. It doesn't even matter if the defense knows or saw it in discovery, or whether or not it was part of their strategy to not expose it so they could later claim a Napui violation. None of that matters. The state, like the burden is 110% on the state to correct false testimony that they know or should have known is false. Period. That's it. They just made that up.
You just gave Chief Justice Rush her talking points. When well, hopefully she doesn't have to weigh in, but
Well, she will. She will.
yeah, I think the state will appeal whatever decision the appeal court makes.
Yeah, if Rick miraculously wins this appeal, which I don't have a ton of faith in the Court of Appeals, but you never know. There might be some things in here that worry them enough that my feeling is that everybody, like all the players involved here,
Oh fuck, you're right.
are well aware that the Supreme Court of Indiana is going to review this. So Uliana and Lehman know this. The AG's office knows this, and the Court of Appeals knows this. They all know that their words on paper are going to be reviewed by the Supreme Court. And nobody wants to look stupid in front of the Supreme Court, right? Like nobody wants to lose there. Like it's not like career suicide or anything, but nobody wants that. Like they know, like if Rick somehow miraculously pulls this off and gets his conviction overturned in the Court of Appeals, the state of Indiana will absolutely request transfer to the Supreme Court, and vice versa. If Rick loses this appeal, also a very real possibility. It happens all the damn time. Everybody knows that Uliana and Lehman are going to request transfer to the Supreme Court, and I can't imagine them not accepting transfer regardless of who is requesting it, Like I'm sure they will accept it and review it. So, I have to kind of keep reminding myself that whatever the Court of Appeals decides probably isn't the last word. And feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, legal experts in here, but the way that the Supreme Court reviews cases and the way that the Court of Appeals reviews cases isn't necessarily through the same lens. Like my understanding is that the Supreme Court is much more interested in constitutional violation claims, and they aren't afraid to set precedent. Like if there's a matter before them that's unprecedented, like let's be real, is a lot of what's in Rick's case. The pretrial detainment, it's unprecedented. Like there's not another case out there in the United States that is apples to apples. There's just not at all. There's some that you can find some similarities with, about like pretrial safekeepers and other punishment and things like that. You have Locke v. Jenkins, you have Bell v. Wolfish. There's some things that kind of like hit some similar themes as Rick's case, but there is nothing in the entire world out there that's you can look to that gives you a blueprint of what you're supposed to do in this situation. So my understanding is that the Court of Appeals kind of doesn't really want to touch that. Like they're going to look for an off-ramp there. They're going to look for an off-ramp, a reason to minimize it, a reason to narrow it. And, knowing that it's probably going to go to a higher court for review. My understanding, again, might be wrong, is that when the Supreme Court looks at this kind of stuff, they're going to fully embrace it and be like, we're being presented with something that's never been seen before. Let's get this bread. Like, let's make a decision on it. And that becomes important. Like, that's going to become an important ruling, whoever ends up making it in the end. Like, that's going to be something that might be cited in a lot of cases in the future, potentially.
Yeah. It's quite possible. Okay, so final thoughts. We got to close this thing down.
Yeah.
I will say Nicole's on point with the gun, the exact evaluation racking to fired to exclude other guns. Yeah, I would say too with this, like shooting the gun, if you've never heard anyone talk about obturation, the issue is
I've never heard that word.
Well, okay, so when you fire the round, the brass expands and creates a seal, and it ends up shooting the cartridge shell casing backwards at a much higher force. And there's different characteristics that are left on the firearm that is kind of the more technical difference outside of just the common sense of shooting a fucking gun, like 40,000 pounds per square inch of pressure. That actually is what causes the major differences that you see. And that's why AFT doesn't allow examiners to look at spent shell casings and unspent rounds. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Because it's stupid?
Yeah, it's stupid. It's not the scientific method. And they may have been able to do a little bit better of a job on that during cross-examination, but, she's a trained witness. And she got to get up there and yap fucking forever about how all of her, the defense goes second. Mm-hmm. So they're more bored, they're more tired, they're more wanting to get back to their actual life. And they just heard some state person talk about how much she knows and all these fucking slides and all these, there's 3 circles around a fucking ejection mark, which isn't what they use to match. And
there's 3 circles around my nuts.
No, I have heard that.
It's true.
I have heard that. And so, it's like this build up to them saying, well, yeah, in my opinion, there is sufficient agreement because there's not enough consecutively matching striae to say that it is a match based off from the markings themselves. Just that in her experience, there is enough for her to say that it is a match without actually matching up the marks. So it's not cross-examinable. How do you cross-examine that? You can't. What do you show the pictures? Okay, well, I didn't match it on the pictures. Which I think maybe a little bit of the issue that they got into was like...
You just yell in her face really loud. It's all you can do is go, what? That's all you can do. That's the cross-examination.
Wow. Only I can see the matches. I'm special. Okay, hey, anything else?
I have nothing else.
What a fun time. Anyways, guys, go get the merch. Okay? Daddy needs a 20 spot.
Does it exist somewhere? Where is it?
Yeah.
Where?
Crankthat.com. Okay, we're getting out of here. I'm gonna play this.
Jerry Holmes is the son of a bitch. Jerry Holmes is the son of a bitch. In that corner, whoa,
Keegan Klein.
Jerry Holman is not a liar.
Jerry Holman is not a liar. Jerry Holman is not a liar.
Jerry Holman is not a liar. 15-year-old thugs out there.
Yeah, there he is. Brad Weber just left. Brad Weber, how'd it go? Brad Weber, did you do it? Brad Weber, did you do it?
Jerry Holmes is the son of a bitch.
There are good ships and wood ships. And there's ships that sail seas. But the best ships are these ships. The best that'll ever be.